On this video, we'll be making fast food chicken like a pro. Here are the ingredients I used in this recipe. So I've got a plain bowl, an empty bowl. I've got my chicken. I've got eggs, cornflakes. We'll need cornflakes. I have flour. I have oil for frying. I've got salt. I've got garlic. I've got spring onions, and I've got a green spicy pepper. I've got ginger, and I've got some herbs. So there's rosemary and there's sage, and I have stock cubes or seasoning cubes like you call it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and blend the pepper, the spring onions, garlic, and the ginger. So I blend that. I put a little bit of water in it to make it blend perfectly. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my chicken and then I'll start poking holes in them or stabbing them, to cut them so that whatever I'm gonna use to marinate them, the spices will go deep inside the kitchen. I'd also advise that you use a chicken breast for this because the thigh is not really the best for this recipe. So I'm gonna start marinating. So I put some of the dry herbs, I put some salt and stock cubes in the chicken, after which I'm gonna take the blended ingredients, which is the spring onions and the spicy green pepper, ginger, garlic. So I'm gonna pour that in it too. So wash your hands and then you start marinating. My hands are clean always, especially since this food is for me, so I'm gonna use my hands. You can wear gloves to do this, okay? And you put a little bit of oil on it and you just work on that, mix it, you work on it just to make sure that all the ingredients goes into the chicken. And so next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cover it. I'm gonna cover it with a wrapping, like the plastic wrapping sheet. I will cover it and set that aside. I'm gonna put that in the fridge for say 20 minutes. But if you do this overnight, it's even better. It takes more flavor. The next step is we're gonna take the flour and we're gonna pour all the dry ingredients. So those will be salt, the herbs, and the stock cubes. So we're gonna put that inside the flour. Then we'll crunch some of the cornflakes. You crunch. Now put as much as you want, These are the ones that you see when you fry the chicken. This is the one that will make the back really like the fast food. So I'm gonna put some more cornflakes, crunch it. And when you do this, taste the flour. Like you can smell it to see if it has flavors. Those herbs, they're gonna give it some nice flavors. You just smell it and see if it's really cool. And then I wash my hands. Next step is we'll break the eggs. So that's what we're gonna do, we'll break the eggs. So when I break the eggs, I whisk the egg. Whisk the egg, there you go. The quantity of egg we'll use dependent on the quantity of the chicken you use. After this, I bring out the chicken, then I whisk the egg. So the step is going to be this. I take the chicken, I pass it in the flour with the flavors of the herb. Again, I'm going to advise that you use a bigger bowl for the flour. As you can see, I'm using a small bowl, and that's really not a good idea because you need some space to be able to turn the chicken. So there we go. I pass the chicken on the floor, then I put it in the egg, and then I pass it back in the flour. So I'm going to cook this 2 times so it will really catch. I pass it back in the flour. Look at that. Make sure all the ends. This is why I'm saying you need a wider bowl. So you see that? So we'll do this again. In the flour first. There you go. In the flour, you coat it all run in the flour. Into the egg. All around. And back in the flour. This is exactly what we'll do. And I'm going to repeat the procedure for all the remaining chicken. Again, please use chicken breasts or a flatter chicken. You get the ultimate result when you use that kind of chicken because it will cook very well. You risk that the thighs are not very well cooked when you use them. Okay, so when we do this for all the chicken, when we're done with this, the next step is we're going to put a pan on the fire with the oil. And we'll start frying. Once it's hot, we'll start frying. I'm going to advise that you use a small pot so you can deep fry. So that way you use less quantity of oil, because honestly, when we're done with this, we're going to just throw away the oil because I don't see anything else you're going to do with this oil. Also depends on the quantity of chicken you'll be frying. So there you go. You just fry deep, turn it around. I suggest you also fry it one or you fry two at a time, depending also on the size of your frying pot. That's it. We fry this. When it's brown, look at that. Look at how lovely they are. But look, we're becoming pro. Basically, when they're fried, that's it. There you go. That's it. Look. Thank you. Please hit the subscribe button. Thank you.